Hey guys, DeLuco here with TitanicEffortGaming. I'm going to be bringing you a guide/commentary to Teemo, the Swift Scout. Let's jump into his abilities. His passive is called Camouflage. If Teemo stands still and takes no action for 3 seconds, he becomes stealth indefinitely. After leaving stealth, Teemo gains the element of surprise, increasing attack speed by 40% for 3 seconds. This is a really good passive, honestly. It does give him the extra attack speed boost, and you can use it if you want to farm. Like, I use it periodically if I'm attacking a tower. I'll just stop attacking it for a few seconds and then pop out, get the extra attack speed boost. Or if you're in a really, really tight spot and you're feeling brave, you can just stop moving inside of a bush if somebody's chasing you, and if you're lucky, they'll run right over you without even noticing you're there. If you're not, they'll see you and kill you before you go stealth. His next ability is his Q, Blinding Dart, obscures the enemy's vision with a powerful venom, dealing damage to the target and causing all attacks to miss for the duration. This is a great ability against AD champions. In team fights, you want to hit their heavy AD carry with this, and they just won't be dishing out any damage for a few seconds. Just generally a great ability. His next ability is Move Quick. Teemo scampers around passively, increasing his movement speed until he is struck by an enemy champion or turret. Teemo can sprint, and to gain bonus movement speed that isn't stopped by being struck for a short time. This is just, it makes Teemo so very, very fast. I actually do pick up the swiftness, boots of swiftness, because I love to move ridiculously fast with Teemo. I mean, even with just basic boots and leveling up Move Quick, I can have over a 400 movement speed with just boots of speed. And his next ability is what makes an on-hit a Teemo, which is what I play, so good. Toxic Shot. Each of Teemo's attacks will poison the target, dealing damage on impact and each second for 4 seconds. This is just a great ability. I do level it up first, followed by Move Quick second, and leveling up Blinding Dart last. I take Blinding Dart more for the utility than anything else. And obviously his ultimate is called Noxious Trap. Teemo places an explosive poisonous trap using one of the mushrooms stored in his pack. If an enemy steps on the trap, it releases a poisonous cloud, slowing enemies and damaging them over time. This is just a great ability. It makes it so that after level 6, Teemo does not need to buy almost any wards. Obviously, if you have a Twitch running around, it never hurts to have a Vision ward somewhere around. But this is just a great ability. They did buff it. It used to take 2 seconds to arm, and it will go stealthed when it gets armed. And now it only takes 1 second, so you can use it a lot more effectively if you're running away. Just put one in front of you and keep running, and hopefully the enemy will run right over it and get slowed. And it does quite a bit of damage if you build AP Teemo. I don't build him that way. I more use the mushrooms just for the slowing effect and the wards. And I will show you some placements of mushrooms once we get into the gameplay. So now we're going to move on to the runes and masteries that I take with Teemo. For the runes with Teemo, I do take attack speed reds and quintessences, along with armor yellows and magic resistance blues. I do take the attack speed because I build the on-hit effect Teemo. There's lots of different things. You could take magic penetration here, or if you want armor penetration, that's acceptable too. I don't recommend like ability power or anything like that. I do like the attack speed. In quintessences, same thing. Magic penetration is good. Armor penetration is good. I just personally, I love attack speed. I love to just hit them over and over and over again, instead of dealing the extra damage, because you do build mostly magic damage with the on-hit effect is great. And I do have a second rune page. I won't be showing you because I rarely ever use it, but it works. It consists of magic penetration, armor, and magic resistance, along with ability power quintessences. Just give him that little extra edge on the poison. Your poison only builds off right about a 0.2 ratio with your ability power, so getting ability power is not that great. Your mushrooms do go 1-for-1 with ability power, which is just awesome. And so now on to his masteries. I do take a pretty offensive mastery build, honestly, on Teemo, taking 21 points in offense and 9 in defense. And in offense, I do get all of the major offensive points, obviously down to execution, or getting lethality, the deadliness, armor penetration, attack speed, attack damage. Do take improved ignite, because I do take Ignite and Ghost, or Ignite and Flash on Teemo. Sorry, not Ghost. Ghost is something that you can use definitely on Teemo, but I don't think it's needed with his Move Quick. I do like having the Flash though, just in case, because Move Quick does have a very long cooldown, and just in case you want to have the extra escapability. Also, then Lifesteal is always nice for just auto attacking to get your health back. And then armor penetration is always a good thing to have. In the defense, I like to take the 4 in magic resist and 4 in armor. That just gives me that extra bit of tankiness because I don't like to play squishy champions. Then Veteran Scars for the extra 30 health, and obviously building up to it with durability. So now we're going to go into gameplay. Okay, so Teemo is a very, very fun champion to play. I really enjoy playing. I'm actually going to be going bottom here with Yorick. I do like, you can go mid or solo top, or you can go bottom with a tankier champion than yourself. Is usually a good idea. I mean, I have gone bottom with my brother who plays a lot of Ziggs, which is, I mean, it goes well. So I'd like to start with Boots of Speed and 3 health pots. This gives me the quick movement speed, letting me dodge a lot, and the health potions are just for the sustain. I don't like to pick up wards for the start simply because of once I hit level 6, they're not really necessary. You'll notice in this game, and I say Pew Pew Teemo because there is a Teemo on the enemy team who has the astronaut skin, which if that ever goes on sale, I am totally buying. So here, you know, we're gonna move down into this bush, and I'm following my friend till he runs over here, and our teammates are just having a chat. So we are in the game here now. Our team was a bit on the tankier side, me being the only real squishy, and their team was a bit on the squishier side, the only real tanky champion being Udyr. So kind of opposite ends of the spectrum there. We have, you know, me, a Yorick, Shyvana, Shen, and Vladimir. They have Akali, Severe, Shaco, Teemo, and Udyr. Udyr will be jungling. We are going to have Shaco and Akali down here. Yeah, it's such a fun lane. Vladimir does get ganked right in the beginning from Shaco, which we for some reason thought that, you know, that wasn't going to happen. So here, bit of interesting action here. We could have flashed after her. I did put Ignite on her, which was dumb. But, oh well. No biggie. So, you know, just starting here. I'm going to go over the build. I like to rush a Maladaze first, not upgrading my boots for quite a while. Then after Maladaze, go for a Madra's Blood Razor, and while I'm building Madra's, that's when I like to upgrade to full boots. When it comes to boots, either like Boots of Swiftness or Sorcerer's Shoes. The Sorcerer's Shoes give me the magic penetration for my poison, which I use a lot. And the Boots of Swiftness just make me a really, really fast guy. You're going to see lots of times I'll just run up at people and shoot them in the face with a dart. That's just what I do. It's my thing. So you'll see there's the ganking Shaco. There it is, picking up first blood. Kind of sad. Oh well. And I'm like, the fuck? What happened? So back to the build. After my Blood Razor, I like to build a Wit's End. After Wit's End, I like to build maybe a Frozen Mallet or an Asher's 2, sometimes a Death Cap, just depends on what I need or want at the moment. So at level 1, I do start by picking up Toxic Shot. It's basically a necessity for Teemo. Toxic Shot is his most important ability. I do level it up first. After that, I will either get Move Quick or Blinding Shot, depending on what I need. I see we have a fairly AD, or an extremely AD heavy lane, so I pick up the Blinding Shot first to help us out with the uber annoying that is Shaco. And you'll see here, I am very, very bad at last hitting with Teemo. I mean, he's so good at last hitting, but I just always either overestimate or underestimate his poison and screw up the last hit. And you see Yorick is just using his ghosts. Just harassing with the ghost, which is always good. So, yeah, basically you want to... The Maladaze, Madra's Blood Razor, and Wit's End are kind of necessity items that are required no matter what. As you'll see here, I do flash over to the other bush. I was hoping to lure him, but they go after Yorick instead. So I do start picking off this Udyr just by shooting him. And I'm telling my friend that he can go back if he needs to, but he has a health potion, so no. Not needed. So Udyr does go for the early gank. Doesn't really do very much to me. They kind of focus down my buddy Yorick instead of the squishy, which is perfectly fine with me. You'll notice I have not used a single one of my health pots. I've been actually playing fairly safe. I know Akali was in that bush, so that's why I went stealthed over there. And so basically what you're going to want to do for poking wise is you're going to run up and shoot them with an auto attack, because your blinding dart range is actually just larger than that of your auto attack range, just barely larger, so you'll get off the auto attack and then immediately get the blinding dart off. You can use the smart cast if you like it, but I prefer not to use it just so I don't mess it up in team fights and put it on the wrong enemy, which would be disastrous. You see there, I shot a collie with a blinding dart a bit too late. That can be difficult to get used to sometimes, hitting the blinding dart at the right time. So now I do pick up a second point in toxic shot because I'm not really worried about moving too fast. They aren't able to catch me at this point. Because I am quite a bit faster than them, 355 movement speed compared to the 325 of Shaco and the 373 of Akali, so she is faster than me, but I do have blinding dart, so I'm not overly worried about her. I'm more picking on the Shaco more than her, simply because I absolutely hate Shaco so much. Our Vladimir is getting kind of zoned right now, zoned pretty hard. So, yeah, early game for Teemo is fairly easy. You can poke all you like, especially once you get move quick, you'll be able to just like run at them. And see right there, I overestimated my poison and failed a couple last hits. That's one thing I do. I'm not an overly high-ranked play, and I know that if given the chance, these people are just going to push their heart's content, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna go over here and activate this box because I don't want him to have the vision, and I know it's not going to do that much damage to me, so I'm just going to run out of its range and shoot it. And me and my buddy are just going to take it down. So Udyr comes back for another gank. I start by blinding him so that he couldn't do too much damage. Sadly, he did get off the stun, and there was not a whole lot I could do there. Could not help my friend, sadly. So here Udyr leaves, and I know that Shaco's in that bush, and I'm expecting him to deceive out at me at any point, so I'm kind of trying to bait him out, because I know that I can kill him. And there it is. Start with the, actually, I don't start with the blind. That's not good. But I do end up killing Shaco right there. What I should have done there, I actually screwed that up, should start with blind at all times. I do that later. I do start with the blind, because if you open with the blind, they're going to use their, especially if it's like a Nasus or something like that, they're going to use their Siphoning Strike or whatever on hit first, and it will miss. I've actually saved my life from a fed Poppy, because she went to use her, whatever her ability is, where she hits you and takes all of your health away. She went to hit me with that, and I hit her with a blinding dart right before she did it, and it missed, and I was able to kill her. Even though she had her ultimate on me, I was still able to kill her because of my blind, my ridiculously high attack speed, all that good stuff. So here, I know that she was in there, but when she's in that Twilight Shroud, it's very difficult to get off that auto attack because she's so fast. Even for the little Teemo with the 391 attack speed. So you see, I did ask my buddy here to go pick up a ward on his way back. And Shaco is back. Wonderful, wonderful Shaco. He's working his way out of there. I'm just kind of picking them off as we run. Shaco decides that he wants to tank a bit of tower, and he does die, sadly. I know that Akali's in there, and we kind of decide, hey, we're just going to sit here and look at each other. Hi, Akali. I do drive her out of the bush, though. And Shaco, I knew he deceived into the bush, so I immediately run backwards. Not able to get off that auto attack. That would have been awesome if I could have. That's one thing you'll find that's really easy to do with Teemo, is if you can just get off one auto attack and then run back, they generally can't do much about it. Except for a level 6 Akali, because as a level 6 Akali, you can do everything in the world about it, because she can just jump to you. Like a boss. Oh, I hate fighting Akalis. Almost as much as I hate fighting Shacos, because they can do that. Right here, Shaco decides that he wants to try and get that kill. So that put me up to level 6. Going to pick up my mushrooms. Your mushrooms are on an ammo system. So you can hold up to 3 at any point in time. So I put the mushroom down in that bush. I'm trying to keep control of these bushes, but Akali, goes and pops my mushroom. That's one thing. My mushrooms, especially at earlier levels, they don't do a ton of damage. Now, they will help you a lot. Mushrooms have picked me up so many kills, it's ridiculous, that I just should not have gotten. But I had a mushroom in the right place at the right time, and they ran over it and got me the kill. I've stolen kills that way, too. Like, enemies were running away from my teammates and ran over one of my mushrooms, and I got the kill for it. But generally what I try and do is I don't always want them to pop the bush. I want them there for more defensive reasons than anything else. And so she pops it, so I know she's right there. Just kind of standing there waiting. And, but I try and keep them more defensively for the wards and the slow effect. If I need them, I can have enemies run over them and never really have an issue. So you'll see I can't get the blind off on her for that little bit of damage. That's one thing. If you don't think you're fast enough to catch up to him, go ahead and use the blind. No reason not to. I know that she's in the bush, and I know that Shaco popped around. Kind of an interesting little play by their part. Didn't get the insta-crit from Shaco. So you'll see I have another mushroom stored up. They do store fairly slowly, honestly. It's 35 seconds, and that does go down to right about 27 by level 16. And so see here, I put it back there so that we have the ward. Just in case Udyr somehow managed to avoid this ward. If this ward weren't here, Udyr could have run back through this bush and come and ganked us that way, which would have been very interesting. Shyvana came down for a gank. But I'm going to level up Toxic Dart here because I do level that up first. Very important. I mentioned that already lots of times because it's the most important thing. Also, this here, if they decide to come after me, they're going to get slowed by this, giving me the perfect ability. See, like right here, if she had kept coming, I probably would have gotten a kill without the help. And so I noticed that how much I'm doing against Shaco's clone, and I'm not quite dumb enough to keep attacking it and almost get one of my teammates killed, which would have been horrible. I did get feared by a Shaco box right there. One thing, if you're fighting a Shaco, it's very easy to tell his clone because you'll be doing ridiculous amounts of damage to it. And that's one thing that I know lots of people, they don't even pay attention to. They just think that they're so awesome, that's how much damage they actually do. Generally, that's one thing you got to keep in mind, is how much damage do you do? And I knew I was going to get feared by that box. I should just let the minions take it. Whatever. I have 2 mushrooms right now. You want to try and conserve your mana and not ever save up to 3 because you're losing out on mushroom time. You see, I try to put on right on the edge of that bush. That way, I have that slowing effect. Because we're kind of pushed up right now. So if a Kali or Odie or something came in to gank me, I would have had the slow effect from that, which I did not want at all. So we go ahead and pick off that. Jack in the box. Gotta hate those Jack in the boxes. So you see, as soon as I get enough mana for another mushroom, I'm going to go put it right here. And also I need to put a mushroom up in this bush because our ward wear off. I was delaying that because we did have the ward. So now that Akali's back, I would love to lure them into this mushroom because with the slowing effect and the extra amount of damage that it does, we should be able to pick up a pretty easy kill. So I do put my next mushroom right up there on the edge of that bush, giving me perfect angle of escape here. So I can run them over 2 mushrooms and I don't have to worry at all. So you'll see Akali's going to eat that mushroom right there for me. And she's also going to run over and eat that mushroom for me. And my buddy's going to give me some vision of that bush. But the mushrooms, even though they don't do a ton of damage, they did scare her off, which was awesome. And she felt like not coming into this bush. So I do have 2 mushrooms again, and I'm so low on mana, I really need to go back. That's one thing I'm horrible about. I hate going back unless I have enough mana or money for my Maladays. And I do have enough money for my Maladays at the moment. Maladays cost 18.25, I believe. 18.20, 18.25, something like that. Let's take a look. 18.25, that is correct. 18.25. So you see, I put another mushroom there for defensive reasons. Now, really good mushroom spots, I put 1 on each corner of the bush. And so right here, where that mushroom is, and then another one up here. I like to put 1 up here, 1 guarding dragon, and we'll take a look at the action here. You'll see Shin teleports into me. I probably would have lived if he hadn't done that, but it did scare her off, so they didn't try the turret dive, so I do say thank you, which is always good thing to do. So back to mushrooms, I like to put 1 in this bush, only 1. You can either put it in the middle or toward one of the ends, your call. I like to put 1 warding dragon. Definitely want to keep 1 in this bush. As soon as team fights start to break out, you want either 1 in the middle of this bush or 1 or just multiple spread out through the entire bush. You want 1 right here. You want to try and ward the jungle later in the game or early in the game. You're completely your call. And 1 in the tri-bush, and you want to generally put them in the middle of the tri-bush, the centers, because generally whenever people, they just like auto-move, they will run around the edges, and they won't trigger the mushroom, but you'll be able to get them to trigger it as you're, as you're running away from them. You'll be able to get them to trigger it for the slow effect, but you'll have it for the ward while it's available. So you see I had 3 mushrooms for a while, so it was kind of a waste of a bunch of mushrooms. And so I'm going to put down that mushroom right there, and I'm telling my friend just to run over the mushroom if they keep chasing you. Udi is down here, and you see I put my next mushroom back there. So now I have a very good defensive system, and so we pick up the kill on that. Shin is very ridiculously low. I know he's not going anywhere. I'm not going to let him die. And go on a rampage. Gotta love those rampages. Shin is like, holy crap, I'm like, we got you. We got this. And so, you know, generally this game goes very, very well. Playing Teemo is not very difficult. Their Teemo was kind of in and out on this game. He didn't do bad, definitely not. I've done bad a couple times with Teemo, don't get me wrong. He is able to do bad with. He's not one of those champions where he's like uber overpowered. I had somebody tell me that Teemo is overpowered. I'm like, no, Teemo is not overpowered. He's kind of a hybrid. Hybrids are rarely overpowered. I don't really think there's too many uber overpowered champions in this game. Teemo later in game becomes really good at pushing towers because of his ridiculous attack speed that you get. So you'll see here now I'm going to go put 1 in this tri-bush right there in the center. gives me vision of the bush just in case. So you'll notice I don't have the extra mushrooms here because I know we already pushed our lane, so I'm free to go roam around. Now I believe I'm going to go Ward Dragon right now, and I believe that's exactly what I'm doing. Yep, it is. Warding Dragon. So see here, I can't see Dragon with that. You can put it closer so you can see Dragon, but this way I will see Udyr coming. A better position would have been right up here, because it would not be triggered by Dragon, yet we'd be able to see Udyr fighting Dragon, which would have been just awesome, phenomenal. So here I'm going to go get some last hits. I do have my Maladays, so life is good. Gives you the extra 25 ability power, which does help out your mushrooms. And mushrooms are not 1 for 1, look at that. Not quite. Which ones? I could have sworn there was one that was 1 for 1. Oh well. I was mistaken. I apologize for that. So you put the extra mushroom down here, just for the safety factor. Put the vision ward right there because I was afraid Shaco would try and come gank me. And I have played Shaco enough to know how powerful a deceive skill really is. Also, vision wards, I'm not 100% sure on this, but they might give vision of his clone. Give me a better idea of which one to attack and which one not to attack. So you'll see Akali just like kind of jumped at me and burst me down, and I'm cocky enough to stay up here and fight her, even though I know she could probably kill me if she really wanted to. And there's Shaco, and I know I can't win a fight with Shaco. He does deceive, and I'm kind of afraid he's going to pop up. And there he is, and here's where the defensive mushrooms come into play. He comes tossing it at me. I'm trying to bait him toward me. I flash over here. He runs through that mushroom, and I'm able to easily pick him off. Now Akali wants to pick a fight, so the defensive mushroom did not work there, and she jumps over that mushroom, which I was not at all okay with. And I make a mistake. I wanted to cut back toward the turret, but I knew that she would be able to kill me with that, which is not at all good. And he cuts back thinking that she was going to try and juke him, but nope, nothing quite that fancy. She does get away. Don't get your hopes up. I was getting my hopes up. I was like, oh, you got this, and he's trying to ping to get Vladimir to come give him a hand, but no such luck. He does give up. That's okay. It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. That's one thing. I am not a phenomenal player. I know that. I do not pride myself in being an uber phenomenal player of any kind. I'm definitely not bad, but I'm not great. As soon as Uberoob returns from his journey to wherever the heck he went, North Carolina or something like that, we will play some ranked games, give you guys an ELO that we were at. We'll probably be showing those ranked games. I will probably be playing Kennen or Swain, maybe some Teemo. I like Teemo. And so you see, first team fight starting to break out here. I'm shrooming the bushes, and that was Shaco's clone. Really should have figured that one. Giant health bar, that is. I can't think of his name right now. My friend B-Man is playing him. And he picks up a killing spree there. I'm generally just doing what Teemo does, get lots and lots of assists. I am the healthiest on the team because I try to stay back in team fights, and this team did not do a very good job at focusing me down. I've played against teams that are great and love to focus Teemo because if he is allowed to stay alive, he will just decimate the enemy team over time. I really enjoy damage over time champions. I'm not a huge nuker. I do play like Vladimir. Or not Vladimir. I'm sorry. I do play Vladimir, but that's not important. I do play what on earth is his name? Vigar. There we go. And so Akali, she gets a bit cocky, and I pick her off. Well, she gets the kill because of Ignite, but I do have my poison on her, which probably would have killed her. No point in saying anything like that. He says fed Teemo, and for the win. Teemo, if he gets fed, I guess I shouldn't really say that he can carry teams, but he definitely can get close. So you'll see here, I have enough money. I picked up my boots and a pickaxe, building toward my Madder's Blood Razor. Love Madder's Blood Razor. So you'll see some of my mushroom placements, like I said, right there. And there, Teemo is running around, and he pops my mushroom. And I knew there's a whole bunch of mushrooms down here. And so our Vladimir is going to do his job. And Teemo cuts up through here. But nope, no such luck for this Teemo. I pop move quick, and I am ridiculously fast because he went for attack speed boots, which I do not at all recommend on Teemo. I think it is a horrible waste of boots. See, I kind of get my kill stolen here. He does just sit there, and I knew they had vision, so I knew they were going to die. And so I actually go find that mushroom. And one thing that I like to do on Teemo is mushrooms do not, like enemy mushrooms, if you pop a mushroom, it does not stack with any other nearby mushrooms. So if you're playing Teemo, make sure to keep your mushrooms far enough apart that they aren't going to get all popped by the same person within a short amount of time, because it will greatly minimize the amount of damage and slowing time that it has. Mushrooms, they only stay on someone for 4 seconds. And so, like, for instance, I know there are 3 mushrooms in this bush, enemy Teemo mushrooms in this bush. So what I'm going to do here pretty quick is I'm going to go eat all of them, because I know about the non-stacking effect of them. And I don't think I do it right here, but I know they're in there. And there's no point in letting them stay there. I don't want him to have vision. So I know he's in there, so I'm just going to run through and eat both of those. So now I know, you'll notice here, I didn't get double or anything. So I'm going to generally just wait on top of my mushroom. Shaco decides he wants to come for a fight. And I knew that this one was him because of the amount of damage I was doing to him. It's pretty easy to tell, honestly, with the amount of damage that you're doing to someone. For some reason, they wanted to bait him on top of my mushroom, even though I already killed the real Shaco. Which, if you have a friendly team on your team, if it's a Shaco and it's his clone, don't bait them on top of the mushroom. Only bait on top of mushrooms if you are being chased. That's a good time to bait someone on top of a mushroom, because it can save your life. You notice here, we have a minion with 3 health. 3 health minion, and he actually lives to fight, and he helps us push down this tower. And I thought that was hysterical that we have a 3 health minion that lives for as long as he did. So you'll see Udyr's right here, and I pop move quick hoping to escape him. And you'll see I do get the one shot off on Sivir there. Was that Sivir? No, that was not Sivir. That was a Kali. But we pick her off. I flash over the bushes thinking that I'm probably going to die if I go back in there. But I'm cocky enough to go put the mushroom in the bush. And I'd like to say that that saved Shyvana's life. I think it did. We're going to say it did, because it makes me feel better about myself. I mean, she's Shyvana. She's really hard to catch anyways. If I had another mushroom here like I normally do, it would not have been anywhere as close of a fight as it was. But, you know, it's Shyvana. Here's where I steal a kill. On accident, he runs over my mushroom that was warding Dragon. And I say, lol, my bad. I apologize. And they surrender. That was the GG. So that was my commentary with Teemo. I love Teemo. Teemo's a great champion. You can pick him up for 1,350 in the store. I really recommend him if you like DPS champions, but not necessarily nukers. He can be played AP, on hit, attack damage, anything you really want. He's really, really fast, and you gotta love Teemo. This has been Zaluka with TitanicEffortGaming. Make sure you like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Peace, and good lolling. LOL.